BookTube. So today we are just going to quickly expose me. I have a good amount of unread books on my bookshelf, but I'm just going to talk about the unread books that I have on these two shelves, and I'm just going to quickly go through them. I'm not going to give a summary of each one. I'll just show you the book, talk about why I picked it up and why I bought it, and if I'm actually going to read it, and when I hope that will be. So first we're starting with the one all the way on the left, of course. And that is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is one I was really excited for because I didn't like The Night Circus as much as I would have wanted to, but I saw the potential of her writing style. And so I picked this one up, and I actually did start reading it, but of course I didn't finish it. But I remember really liking what I did read. I just wasn't able to commit to a really long book at that time. I think this could become a favorite, but I just really need to get the time to and ability to motivate myself to finish a 500-page book. Then we have Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. This is a book that I bought because I was planning to read it for a book club, but then I never did read it for the book club. It got so much hype, and it looked to be a really important book, so I picked it up, but I have not read it yet, and I don't know when I will, but I really want to. I think I also picked this up because it fit like a reading rush prompt or something, but then I also never read it. The End and Other Beginnings. I feel like I finished this, but I also don't know. Like, I feel, because it's a short story collection, and I feel like I finished most of the stories, but I don't know which ones I haven't finished. But I remember liking most of the stories. The Guilty Ones I received in my February Owl Crate unboxing. Go watch that. It was amazing. Just look at, I still can't believe how beautiful this entire book is, and it is obviously signed. I have Serpent and Dove, which I've said so many times that I want to read, and I just haven't. It sounds really interesting to me about them being forced to interact with each other and become this team against all these people that are hunting the witch, Louise. I just think it sounds so interesting, and obviously the hype is real for this book. And I really want to read it just to watch Cindy's rant review, but I have not finished it. Then we have Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. This is a book that I actually did start, but I just didn't finish. I feel like I am really going to love this book. It's about someone who's entering this new phase of their lives, and they don't know if they'll be able to adjust. It just sounds really interesting, and I love the premise of this Radio Silence podcasting. Okay, I haven't read these three. Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I was gifted by Nikki over at Nerding Out with Nikki. It is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I really do want to read it. But I haven't. Every Last Word is a book that I did start, and it looks like one I'm going to be really interested in. And it's about poetry. It's about this kind of poetry club. It's about someone who's trying to find herself through words. I just think it sounds interesting. In A List of Cages, I honestly don't know if I'll read. I started it, and I just didn't like it. Like, I feel like I've unofficially DNF'd it. I might come back to it, but I just don't know. The Astonishing Color of After is one I also don't know if I've DNF'd. Like, I just didn't feel like there was much in the beginning to make me want to continue reading. Like, it was very much a character book, and I just didn't care much about our main character. Just One Day is another book I don't know if I'll get to. Like, it sounded so interesting with, like, the travel and the Shakespeare. It just didn't grip me in the way that I might have wanted it to. Gail Forman is an author that I really hope I will like. But after starting this book and now, like, yeah, I just don't know if I will. Under Rose-Tinted Skies is a book I do really want to read still. I just find it really interesting, and I hope I will read it and enjoy it. Alright, that is all the books on these two shelves that I have not read. Now we get up to this shelf. The bane of my existence. I have not finished Numbering the Ashes. I've started it twice. The second time I got a little bit farther in, but I haven't finished it. Gathering of Shadows, the sequel to one of my favorite books of all time. And I've heard so many mixed reviews. Some people say it's just as good as the first one and that it's a worthy sequel. And some people say it just didn't live up. And I really want to love it, but I don't know if I will. Because there was just a different kind of magic to A Darker Shade of Magic that made me love it. And I just hope that this book will have the same kind of extra spirit. But really, I'm just scared of reading it because I think that it will ruin everything for me. Shadow and Bone getting its Netflix adaptation soon, and I will read it soon because I'm going to watch the Netflix adaptation. And I bought this originally when I first started BookTube because I was like, I want to read Six of Crows, and she wrote this before Six of Crows, and it's set in that universe. So I'm going to read this, but now I know that you don't technically have to read this book. If you want to read the Six of Crows duology, but I guess I now am. Vanishing Stair is a sequel to Truly Devious, and I have not started yet, but I really am excited for it because Truly Devious was so good. Like, I just did not expect it to be as good as it was. It left me on such a cliffhanger. These Dark Materials is a book, like, I sometimes forget that I even own because I didn't buy, like, my friend gifted it to me, but it is such a huge fantasy book, and I really do want to read it eventually because it just sounds interesting. My best friend loves it. Now, the Maze Runner series are so weird to me because I feel like I have read them all, but I don't remember anything about them. But I feel like I remember reading them. Like, I feel like I remember sitting down and reading them, but I don't remember what was actually in them, which is so weird to me. Like, I remember some things about every book that I read in childhood, but with the Maze Runner series, I don't remember much. I don't know. And then we have the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have read The Hobbit, but I have not read the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've tried. I'm going to read it eventually. Maybe when I become a more mature reader, I will read it, but it is just hard to get into. I've tried many a time. Alright, and that is all of the unread books that I have in my shelves. In these 4 shelves, at least. Let's count how many I actually have. 19. Yeah, that's not great. But it's alright. I don't know. It's alright. Alright guys, that was just a quick little video talking about some books that I own, but have not read for honestly not so great reasons. And now that I've exposed myself, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye!